Thank you for joining us on this edition of News Today, a series where we briefly discuss and analyze the important news of the day. Without delay, let's explore the headlines that are shaping the current news landscape. Nicaragua-bound plane with Indian passengers held in France over suspected human trafficking has returned to India. Supreme Court has released a report titled State of the Judiciary, a report on infrastructure, budgeting, human resources and ICT. The Ministry of Personal, Public Grievances and Pensions launched an extended version of Mission Karmayogi on Good Governance Day. Information Fusion Center for Indian Ocean Region has completed 5 years. National Financial Reporting Authority has found deficiencies in audit quality of Big Four audit firms. Reserve Bank of India has sought comments on draft framework for self-regulatory organizations. Starting with the first news. Nicaragua-bound plane with Indian passengers held in France over suspected human trafficking has returned to India. This incident had led to investigations into potential organized criminal activities linked to an alleged human trafficking scam. The involvement of organized criminal groups and its transnational nature poses a significant challenge in tackling human trafficking. Now let's first understand what human trafficking is. Human trafficking, defined as the act of recruitment, transport, harboring or receipt of a person through coercion, abduction, fraud or deception. It takes various forms which includes exploitation of victims in the sex, entertainment and hospitality industries, as well as domestic workers and individuals forced into marriages. Exploitation is rampant, as highlighted in the 2022 Global Report on Trafficking in Persons, according to which 50,000 victims were detected and reported by 141 countries in 2020. Transnational organized crime groups play a pivotal role in human trafficking through their extensive global networks, leveraging these connections to facilitate the illicit movement of individuals across borders. Armed with high-level logistical expertise, these groups plan the intricate operations involved in human trafficking. Corruption is a key tool in their arsenal, as they may bribe officials at different levels such as law enforcement, immigration and border control to evade detection and facilitate the smooth transit of trafficked individuals. Additionally, these criminal networks employ money laundering tactics, channeling the profits generated through human trafficking through legitimate businesses. There are also some measures taken to combat human trafficking. At the global level, initiatives like the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, supplemented by Protocol Against the Smuggling of Migrants by Land, Sea and Air, which is also ratified by India. Another initiative is the SAC Convention on Preventing and Combating Trafficking in Women and Children for Prostitution. In India, Article 23 of the Constitution prohibits human trafficking, and the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956 specifically addresses trafficking concerns. Moving on to the next news. The Supreme Court has released a report titled State of the Judiciary, a report on infrastructure, budgeting and human resources and ICT. The report studies the present state of India's justice delivery efforts with a focus on the high courts and district judiciary. The report is structured into 4 vital parts, shedding light on different aspects of the justice system. First, we'll start with the human resource management. The report reveals a gap in judiciary workforce. High courts grapple with a 31% vacancy, totaling 347 vacant seats, while the district judiciary faces a 21% vacancy, accounting for 5,300 vacant seats. Gender equality remains a challenge as women constitute only 36.3% of the working strength in the district judiciary. The Supreme Court has only 3 women judges, and high courts exhibit a small 13.42% female representation as of October 2023. Now talking about the judicial infrastructure, high courts experience a shortage of 134 courtrooms while the district judiciary is plagued by a deficit of 4,250 courtrooms. In terms of sanitation facilities, a startling 19.7% of district courts lack separate toilets for females, highlighting a crucial need for improved infrastructure and facilities. Now let's talk about the budgeting for the district judiciary. Many states face funding challenges due to stringent conditions, such as mandatory furnishing of utilization certificates. Due to the absence of a single ownership structure, coordination among agencies is largely hampered. At last, let's dive into the information and communication technology enablement of judiciary. The report underscores the slow pace of digitization, with only 48.6% of the district court complexes equipped with the functional e-filing facilities. The report suggests several key recommendations for development and judicial efficiency. It proposes the establishment of a dedicated land bank to expedite infrastructure projects and emphasizes the need for a central level body to improve coordination, monitoring, and efficient budget utilization. Additionally, the report recommends implementing a standardized time frame for the timely recruitment of support staff in district judiciaries and advocates for the creation of a permanent IT cadre in the district judiciary. Furthermore, it underscores the importance of regular training for judges, lawyers, and other stakeholders to bolster capacity building in the judicial system. Moving on to the next news. The Ministry of Personal, Public Grievances and Pensions launched an extended version of Mission Karmayogi on Good Governance Day. Good Governance Day has been celebrated on December 25th since 2014 in honor of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The day is aimed at promoting citizen-centric, efficient and transparent governance and improving service delivery. Now turning our attention to Mission Karmayogi. Also known as the National Program for Civil Services Capacity Building, this mission aims to cultivate a civil service equipped with the right attitude, skills and knowledge in alignment with the vision of future-ready New India. Mission Karmayogi rests on 6 pillars, including a policy framework, institutional framework, competence framework and digital learning framework through the integrated government online training Karmayogi platform, the electronic human resources management system and a monitoring and evaluation framework. Now let's explore the new features launched on the Mission Karmayogi platform. The newly launched My IGOT delivers targeted training courses to individual officers, while blended programs were launched to ensure equitable access to training methodologies across all levels. This approach integrates offline classroom courses with online learning components. Introducing Vikas, or Variable and Immersive Karmayogi Advanced Support Program, this new blended learning initiative is designed for the management of civil servants in the Central Secretariat. Moreover, curated programs cater to the diverse learning needs of ministries, departments, and training institutions. To address specific areas, 12 domain-specific capacity building e-learning courses have been developed. Mission Karmayogi is significant because it focuses on developing functional, behavioral, and technological competences essential for the vision of New India. The mission supports the transition from rules to roles-based HR management and lifelong learning and personalized learning paths. An emphasis on on-site learning complements traditional off-site learning methods. Moving ahead, the Information Fusion Center for Indian Ocean Region has completed 5 years. It was hosted by the Indian Navy and was established by the Government of India at the Information Management and Analysis Center, Gurugram, in 2018. It aims to enable better correlation, compressed information cycles, and timely inputs. It also hosts international liaison officers from 12 partner nations. The Indian Ocean region faces noteworthy challenges, including the impact of climate change and escalating sea levels, as well as the prevalence of transnational crimes and illegal fishing. These issues have the potential to disrupt trade supply chains and jeopardize the economic growth of the region. In this context, let's see why Information Fusion Center for Indian Ocean Region is significant. It is currently enabling maritime safety and security in the Indian Ocean region in alignment with the India's vision of security and growth for all in the region. Additionally, it is facilitating participating countries in better tracking illegal activities, identifying potential threats, and coordinating responses. The ongoing effort is addressing major concerns such as terrorism and human trafficking in the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean region holds a significant importance for India. Let's know why. If we talk about economic significance, 95% of India's trade by volume and 68% of trade by value is moved through sea via the Indian Ocean. About 250 million people live within 50 kilometers of the coast and are dependent on the sea for food and livelihood. It also holds strategic importance as the central position of India in the Indian Ocean region makes it a natural maritime power, influencing sea lanes and regional dynamics. In terms of resource exploration, the world's third largest ocean holds abundant mineral resources like gold, tin, uranium, cobalt, and nickel. Moving on. National Financial Reporting Authority or NFRA has found deficiencies in audit quality of 4 big audit firms. The NFRA as a regulator oversees accounting standards and auditing profession in India. It is a statutory body constituted in 2018 under Section 132 of the Companies Act 2013. The Act mandates NFRA to monitor compliance with auditing standards and to oversee the quality of service of the professions associated. Under this mandate, NFRA initiated audit quality inspections in Big Four audit firms, namely Deloitte, Haskins & Sells LLP, BSR & Company LLP, SRBC & Company LLP, and Price Waterhouse Chartered Accountants LLP. LLP here stands for Limited Liability Partnership. Now let's dive into the key issues which were highlighted. The identified independence issues highlights about firms not being in full compliance with the independence-related requirements of the Code of Ethics. Furthermore, the quality of audit documentation presents another concern, as deficiencies may compromise the ability to adequately support audit conclusions and procedures. In addition to these challenges, there are notable concerns about the effectiveness of the internal risk management processes within the organization. Moreover, regulatory compliance issues have surfaced with violations of the Companies Act 2013 observed in the policies of SRBC and Company. A related issue is the incomplete recognition of relationships between SRBC and its network members. Moving on to the next news. Reserve Bank of India has sought comments on draft framework for self-regulatory organizations or SROs. With growth of regulated entities, their operational scale, increased adoption of innovative technologies has necessitated the development of better industry standards for self-regulation. A draft titled Omnibus Framework for Recognizing SROs for its regulated entities contains objectives, functions and eligibility criteria which will be common for all self-regulatory organizations. Before proceeding, let's first understand what self-regulating organizations are. They are a non-governmental organization that represents a particular sector or industry and sets and enforces rules and standards relating to conduct of its member entities. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority is one example. If we talk about its eligibility criteria, then entities which intend to function as a self-regulatory organization shall set up itself as a not-for-profit company registered under Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. Now let's understand the characteristics of self-regulatory organizations. The organization should have strong governance mechanism, including focus on independent board, transparency and adherence to well-defined processes. They are required to develop standards for improving compliance culture and adherence by its members to rules and regulations framed by RBI. Also, to devise and implement standardized procedures for handling disputes among members are required. Now let's go through the objectives of self-regulatory organizations. The very first objective is to promote a culture of compliance among its members by promoting progressive practices. The second one is to act as a collective voice of members and address broader industry concerns. The third emphasizes on collection and sharing of relevant sectoral information to aid RBI in policy making. And at last, to encourage a culture of research and development within the sector. The personality in news for today is Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya. Prime Minister has released collected works of Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya on his birth anniversary. Let's go through his contributions. He started Abhyuday, a Hindi weekly in 1907, Maryada, a Hindi monthly magazine in 1910, and founded an English daily newspaper called Leader in 1909. He also served as President of Indian National Congress in 1909, 1918, 1932, and 1933. He founded Hindu Mahasabha in 1907 and also served as member of the Imperial Legislative Council. He founded Banaras Hindu University in 1916. He was posthumously honored Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. The values inculcated by him are patriotism, impartiality, and honesty. As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. SEBI issued a consultation paper proposing to introduce same-day settlement, also known as T+0 of trades, on stock exchanges and real-time settlement on an optional basis. T+0 settlement refers to a financial transaction settlement that is completed on the same day as the trade date. RBI has enabled card-on-file tokenization directly through card-issuing banks. This will provide cardholders with additional choice to tokenize their cards for multiple merchant sites through a single process. Card-on-file tokenization refers to replacement of actual credit and debit card details with an alternate code called the token. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change issued a draft notification declaring 1 kilometer area around Pong Dam Wildlife Sanctuary as an eco-sensitive zone, where commercial activities will not be allowed. The Pong Dam Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. Pongdam Lake or Maharana Pratap Sagar is a man-made reservoir created in 1975 with construction of Pong Dam on Beas River. National Green Tribunals has issued notice to Union Government, Karnataka and Kerala governments on dumping of endosulfane in hilly area of Minchin Padua in Kasargod district of Kerala. Endosulfane is an organochlorine pesticide used to control variety of insects and mites on wide range of crops. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare have launched MedTech Mitra, a strategic initiative to empower medtech innovators and advance healthcare solutions. MedTech Mitra is a platform that will help young talents of the countries in shaping their research and getting regulatory approval. WHO has reported more than 5 million dengue infections and 5,000 deaths from dengue in 2023. India, along with Indonesia, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Thailand, ran among world's 30 most highly endemic countries. Dengue virus is transmitted to humans through bite of infected mosquitoes or Aedes aegypti. Astrosat has detected bright sub-second X-ray bursts from a new and unique neutron star with an ultra-high magnetic field that is from a magnetar. Astrosat is India's first multi-wavelength space-based observatory, launched by the Indian Space Research Organisation in 2015. An international team of archaeologists has uncovered what is believed to be world's oldest known fort in a remote region of Siberia. The fortified settlement named Amanya is located along the Amanya River in western Siberia. Radiocarbon dating of samples collected at the site places the fort's construction around 8,000 years ago. Before we go, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed this edition of News Today. To get the answers to today's quiz and to download the PDF of News Today, make sure to check out the links in the description below.